Hello, my friends on this Facebook group Bible study. This is day number 3 and reading through some more of Genesis, and boy, today had some action. So just from what I remember this morning as I was going on my walk with baby Esther listening to the Bible, so you had Abraham, Isaac, and now Jacob. Jacob runs off to find a wife. Ends up at his uncle Laban's house, falls in love with his uncle's youngest daughter. He's got 2 daughters, and falls in love with Rachel, and works 7 years for his uncle to win his wife. After the 7 years is up, the wedding, and wakes up the next morning lying next to the older sister. Oh, poor guy. Anyways, he's like, dude, uncle, what's going on? This is not the bargain. The uncle says, well, we don't have a custom to marrying the younger daughter first. So he finishes his week honeymoon with a girl, gets the younger wife after promising to work another 7 years. So his uncle Laban's pretty sneaky like that. Well, Jacob is sneaky too, ends up like accumulating a ton of wealth, all this, farm animals and things. He's ends up taking off, going back to his family. Yeah, runs out saying goodbye. Laban chases him, and God basically tells Laban, don't hurt this bugger. He's my buddy. On his way back, he wrestles with God. And gets his name changed to Israel. So Jacob becomes Israel. And it's pretty cool. Ends up going back to his brother Esau, and he thinks that Esau is going to be mad, but Esau actually has already forgiven him, and they work it all out. And he has 12 kids. And the story of how his wives are kind of like, the younger one couldn't have any kids, the older one was having kids, and they really wanted to have kids. That was like the big deal. And then they would give their maidservant to the hubby to be a wife so that they could try to have kids through the maid. It was interesting. So 12 kids later, and back with the fam, with the brother and stuff. And he has a favorite son, the one son that he had from the younger wife, Joseph, and then later he has one more son from Joseph, Benjamin. Well, anyways, the story of Joseph is just absolutely incredible, as you guys have seen going through the Bible with me. And he gets sold to slavery. I thought it was cool how he, when he was sold to Potiphar, he must be good looking because Potiphar's wife tried to get with him, that even though he was accused falsely of raping her, and thrown into prison, no matter where he went, he was in prison. They bumped him up to the head of all the prisoners. God was with him, and he interpreted dreams, and it was neat just to see his humility. How he'd say, I can't interpret the dreams. It's really God that interprets them. So as we went along today, it was just incredible. I thought it was pretty hardcore when. This is kind of like right around the time that they'd come back. I think this is before Joseph gets sold off, but they come back to, Israel comes back to his brother Esau. They're friends again. And Israel had a daughter, and she got raped from one of these guys, in one of the neighboring cities, and he was in love with her. He wanted to marry her, all that stuff. Well, her brothers weren't happy about that when they found out, so they're kind of sneaky. They went to the guy that did it and said, because he was like, let me marry your sister. Let's intermarry and all that stuff. So they kind of lied. They said, well, we can't intermarry with you guys unless you all get circumcised. So the whole town, all the dudes get circumcised, and the brothers come in like a couple days later when they're all like in excruciating pain, healing up from that, and they just slaughter them. They just kill everybody, all the dudes. And yeah, that was pretty insane. So I think we'd have a lot less rape nowadays if that was the punishment. You know, you got to get circumcised and then slaughtered. But yeah, so pretty intense stuff going on. And leave your comments. What did you get out of today's Bible study? And I will see you all soon. Take care.